Welcome back. This is Eric from cashcultura. I am here to talk to you about Starstock. Many of you have heard of it. It is known as the stock market for sports cards. Well, in this video, you will find out the ins and outs, the details of the process of sending in cards from beginning to end, the process of selling cards, and my overall thoughts on the platform. Stay tuned. First, I want to talk about Starstock and who backs Starstock. That's extremely important when it comes to these types of conversations because this is the new platform, right? We see new apps come in and out every day. So who backs Starstock? Well, we have some heavy hitters right off rip, and we have Kevin Durant. So Kevin Durant is very culturally relevant. He has a lot of pull when it comes to the culture. We have some more NBA players, Matt Dellavedova. We have Gary Vaynerchuk's brother. And we also have the co-founders of FanDuel, which is the betting company. So that's important. But who is the CEO? And this guy right here, Scott Greenberg, is the CEO. And he's obviously a busy guy because he's not on Twitter that often. But what I can tell you is there's tons of interviews with Scott, and he is a great guy. He has a great mind, and he's a collector, which I love. The fact that, you know, he loves the cardboard just as much as we do. And their actual Twitter account is real active. They have tons of followers. So, yeah, I definitely wanted to go into the ownership in that first because that's really important. So here is the platform. It's starstock.com. When you sign up, make sure that you use the referral code cashcultura. Altogether, just cashcultura. Altogether, nothing in the middle. And you'll get $10, and then I'll also get $10. It's a great way of helping out the channel. So make sure you use that. You can get, again, a free $10 to start off, which is quite awesome. So this is the landing page, and the landing page gives you a lot of great details, featured cards, and then we have this, which is the NBA Emerging 30. So this is a great way of tracking the top selling players. So in the stock market, there's tons of websites where it'll give you a list of the top 500 companies, right? And this is basically that. It's the top emerging 30 players. And the way that it tracks it is it's tracking Prism-based rookie cards for the top 30 players from the 2017 all the way up to 2020 draft classes. All right, so this is cool because in the stock market, you can buy funds where you buy, let's say, a share of that fund, and it's basically like you're buying a very tiny piece of each company in the top 500, right? So this doesn't give you the ability to do that, but you can manually do that, right? Like you can go and buy one card of this guy, of this guy, of this guy, of this guy, and so on. And now you have a piece of the top 30. And then this is a way of tracking it. So right now, we're in a bit of a slump. So that's for a different video, right? We know that right now we're kind of like going through a correction. There's been a pretty big dip when it comes to modern cards, but there's been a spike in increase and attention to vintage cards or older cards. And this graph reflects that very well. In the past week, we're down 13%. So you see, it has tons of great data, and it's available to you as a member of this, which is it's free to be a member. They'll even pay you basically to be a member. So there's no reason to not be part of this. So you see, it ranks them. Luka is at the top, Trae Young, Zion, Jason Tatum. Wow. So for a good while, it was Luka, Zion, and Ja. But now we see other people climbing up. And as the season continues to unfold, a lot of these players that are, you know, a little bit more seasoned will definitely keep climbing up. That's for sure. So there you go. These are some of the top players. And you'll see a lot of these players, just go in and out of the top 30. But this is a great way of tracking, who's top selling and when. You see right here, it gives you all the data that you need. We have sealed wax, so this is awesome. This is super awesome. I'm gonna go back to sealed wax, but before that, it does give you the most traded for the day. And that usually gives you some insight. Hey, maybe that player did well 2 days ago or 3 days ago. And then the latest sales. Latest sales might be indicative of someone playing well. Who knows? But I wouldn't base any buying decision based off of the latest sales. I would definitely do research, right? Like, hey, why are many people buying this guy or whatever? But what I can tell you sometimes is just the time people just buy the card or execute or pay up. Newest arrivals. So I want to go back up to the sealed wax because this is awesome. Look at this. The pricing that you can get as a seller, right? Normally you have to deal with the headache of, eBay and then people, saying it arrived damaged or it never got there or you name it. So this is a safer way and an easier way of dealing wax. And obviously I will get more into that. So all right, so how do we do it, right? This looks awesome, but how do we get to it? All right, cool. So you go to FAQs, and this right here is where you have all of the information that you will need, okay? At the very top, it normally gives you some updates, right? So right now, there's a few updates that are going on. So Prism draft picks are no longer going to be accepted, which is a good thing because this site is flooded with Prism draft picks. And I sent in a ton of them, and I got lucky, but I can see why they shouldn't accept those. I mean, those hold no real value over a long period of time, except if they end up being GOATs or really, really good, which is why they are actually still going to accept them, but with one condition, and we'll find out what that condition is right now. Starstock is focused on trading current players only, so keep that in mind, okay? When you send in cards, they have a Starstock Fast Pass, and this right here is changing, so make sure that you understand, that you look into this. And the Fast Pass basically means that you send in the card and they'll process that card or whatever it is or box within 2 to 4 weeks, right? And currently right now, it's all PSA, BGS, and SGC graded cards. So that's pretty cool. All sealed wax, soccer cards, all NBA Emergent 30 Prism cards, 2020 Prism Football, and 2020 Optic Preview Football, which now, already released, so the Optic Football. And it is important to know that they do not accept insert cards. So for example, Mosaic, they do not accept the NBA debut, the NFL debut, or when it comes to Prism, the Sensations, or any of those inserts, they do not accept. And the reason behind that is because they want to centralize and they want to build a volume around specific rookie cards so they can truly understand the value of that card. And it's only through volume that they can do that. Right now, if they have millions of cards, and it's really hard to keep track of data and really track it. Because then, people will, and it could potentially, and the data can potentially become flawed. So this is a great way of centralizing the data on specific points and us being able to understand the true value of those cards. I really love this concept. So when it comes to NBA, Prism, they accept all rookie cards. Optic, all rookie cards. Select, all rookie cards. Mosaic, all rookie cards. Donruss, all rookie cards. Prism drafts, they don't accept anymore, only graded cards for rookies. which is, I mean, that's cool because I mean, you basically you can still send in a PSA 7. I mean, I'm not seeing anything that says you can't send in PSA 7s. I'll research right now, but I don't think there is a limit when it comes to the grades. NBA hoops, the same, only graded rookie cards. The same for hoops premium stock. Topps Bowman, which is 2012 and earlier. Other Panini brands like Chronicles, Illusions, any of that, only graded autos and numbered rookie cards. So not just graded, but autos and numbered. So keyword. And other Panini brands not accepted. For NFL, it's only skill positions, which is going to be your tight ends, your receivers, your running backs, your quarterbacks. And the same concept goes for everything else. MLB, very, very similar. It doesn't seem like they accept Panini, so non-licensed. So that should be indicative of maybe cards that you shouldn't, spend too much money on, right? It's all about fun and all that. So, if you have a blast opening those, yes. If you're looking to make profits, then obviously the Panini ones are not it. And when it comes to soccer, it's about players. So it depends on the player. When it comes to soccer, football, proper football, that is going to depend on the player. Okay, so what happens once you send in your cards? Okay, so it is important that you create an Excel or a Google Doc or a Google Sheet tracking form with all your cards. So do this from the beginning, right? Because they're going to ask for it. So here's an example of mine. All right, so the reason why I recommend that you start off with this is because you're gonna have to do it. So this is the best way of you being able to sort everything out. So you go in here and you just write every single card that you have by player, year, brand, set, card number, and any details like, for example, Hyper Pink Prism, and so on and so on. So you build your list. I sent in a total of 198 cards, which included Prism football, Prism basketball, draft picks, Mosaic basketball, Donruss football. So just different types of cards. And what I recommend you do after that is then you group them up by team. You have to make it easier for them to be able to process your cards. I didn't do this, but I really recommend it. So in this sheet right here, the only thing that I would add is the team, right? And just, do it by team. Definitely separate them by sport. So like, let's say you have 100 cards of basketball, then do basketball first and then do football. And then have them in that particular order in the sheet, because again, the easier you make it on them, the faster that they'll process for you. Okay, so I'm going to now drop a video of the way that I package my cards. Okay, so now that you saw how I packaged everything, then now you just simply ship it out. I did it through USPS. Make sure you add insurance because again, it's your responsibility. And if something happens, then you're the one that's gonna be left without the money, without your card. So add insurance. After you send them in, it usually takes 4 to 6 weeks for your cards to be processed, right? And they definitely do take that time. So when I sent in my cards, this is my experience. I was literally the day that they got my shipment, they changed from 2 to 4 weeks processing time to 4 to 6 weeks. So I ended up getting pushed out to the 4 to 6 weeks. And my individual cards took about a total of 4 weeks to get processed. And I'm not sure why, but I did send in, I'm not sure why, but my sealed wax took 6 weeks, almost 7. And that was the Prism football first off the line. So it does take that time, but ultimately I've had a very positive experience. I've had a very positive experience with Starstock. I've reached out to customer service to let them know that, hey, what's going on with the sealed wax? And they've always responded on time. They've been very kind. So big shout out, big shout out to Starstock because they have good customer service. And that is really hard to find in the card industry. The card manufacturers, the grading companies, most of these people don't have any customer experience, or they have no desire in delivering any type of customer service. So that's a tough part, a tough blow in the hobby, but it's good, and we should celebrate those companies who do have good customer service, and Starstock is one of them. All right, so now what we will do is we will go into what happens once they process them. So it goes straight into your collection. So my collection had a total of about 198. So they processed every single card, I think, except for two, and I'm guessing they're sending them back. I'm not too stressed. They weren't. I knew one wasn't in really good condition, but I thought, hey, maybe it'll get submitted as a C, but it didn't. It was a Tyler Hero mosaic. So this is the way that it goes, right? These are all the cards that have not been sold on my end, but I am actively trying to sell. So the pros is that it's pretty simple, right? So basically all you do is you go on here and then it tells you your listing. So let's do as if I don't have a listing. All right, so you go in here and it tells you, okay, Starstock B. So it's going to grade your card from A, B, or C, right? And don't take that to heart, right? Like, it is what it is, and that is very helpful. I really like that feature because it gives you the ability to understand, hey, this isn't an actual better or worse condition than I thought, and maybe for grading purposes it might help you. It doesn't guarantee, and I would never send something just because of this, but it might make your theory, it might validate your theory. So anyway, this one graded out a B. So what I do now is I go and I just hit sell. I want to sell one. How much do I want to sell it at? Well, there's 89 cards of this particular card for sale for 10 cents. So there you go. And I just listed for sale. And if someone wants to buy it, then they'll buy it. So the one thing with Starstock is this. So lowest fees in the game. Starstock charges a 5% fee or 5-cent minimum. So they will take either 5 cents or 5% of the sale, which is I mean, I think that it's good because eBay will charge up way more than that. I think it's like 13%, right? So other platforms will have their sales fees as well. So that's not bad. It's only if you have a super low end card like that it'll, it'll take half. Here you go. Here we have a Talon Horton Tucker, and okay, here you go. So I have this card listed for 50 cents, right? Many people have this card listed for 45 cents. Someone sent me an offer for 25 cents for this card, which is graded a C. And if we look, here is a graph. Okay, so it looks like when it comes to Talon Horton Tucker, the A's have really maintained well, and they have dipped. But if you see the B's and the C's, I mean, they've just completely tanked to almost nothing. So what I'll do is I'm gonna accept this. So all I do is I click on this and then I hit sell card. And there you go. It's been sold. It's that easy. So that is the easy part. That is the pro when it comes to this. It's super easy. I can't really think of a con, but if, like, for me personally, the one thing that is a con for me, but it has nothing to do with Starstock, is that it can get so easy for me just to sell them for like half or 75% off because I just want to get rid of them. Like they just make it so easy. Like, for example, this card, I have it for $2 and they're giving me 20 cents. So I mean, I might take that just because I want to get rid of it. But that's the only thing for me. It just makes it so easy for me to just sell and get rid of. But ultimately, it's super easy. It's really, really, really easy. And I personally have not bought a card, but I think for the sake of showing you, I might buy a card. So let's see. All right, so I'm gonna throw in an offer, and like, I mean, I'm just gonna throw something like $15. And probably the best thing for you to do is just go to eBay and see what they're going for on eBay. Um, See, this is going for $8, and that's wild because I think this is a silver. Yeah. Well, I don't know if that year. Yeah, I think that year all of them were silvers. So you see, that's kind of expensive, right? So that's why I'm just gonna offer. And that's the good thing for sellers. Normally they go higher. So here you go. My offer is live. So let's see if they take it. But for sellers, it can be very lucrative. It can be very lucrative. So as you can see, this is my balance from all those cards that I sent in. Um, it's it's decent, right? It's 150. I haven't sold everything. Um, but what's cool is that with that, maybe you can buy a card, and you can send it out through them to get graded, which I'm looking to do soon. Overall, it definitely has been a great experience. I haven't used all the benefits of Starstock, like grading cards. They will send a card from your vault to PSA for you. Um, I haven't asked for cards to get sent back to me. I haven't bought anything because these days I'm not much of a buyer. I only buy the things that I really, really love, and that's Kobe cards, right? And I think I have those already, like my holy grails, and I mean, I could definitely. There's bigger holy grails, but they're just too expensive. So that's why I'm not much of a buyer these days. But ultimately, this is a great platform. It has some heavy hitter backers, so right off the rip, you have eyes on this platform that you normally wouldn't have with other applications. And that is pretty awesome. And that might be one of the reasons why some of these cards go for a little bit higher, because, maybe some of the people that are involved in the back that are buying, they don't really care for the capital, but they enjoy the flipping aspect of it, right? Um, I know that there is tons of basketball players that are into basketball cards now. So this is not dying. This is definitely something that is just, it's not just getting started, but it is in its boom right now. Fact, it's in its boom, and it's gonna keep going up. All markets regulate. All markets will flatten. They will correct. Sometimes they will crash, right? So as long as you're investing in things that you really, really love, then you should not have a worry in your mind. It's here to stay. Cards will definitely fluctuate. So invest in what you love, invest in what you believe in. And make sure that if you sign up for Starstock, use referral code cashcultura. Give this platform a shot. I really like the people behind it, and I have a lot of faith that this platform is going to be big time. Thank you very much for tuning in. Have a good day.